Hey, good morning, guys. My name is Bill Tanner, and I want you to just know real quick. You found this video probably if you're looking at the Anthony Morrison program that we've seen on television now for a bit. Um, I did go ahead and buy his book, the $20 book. I guess you get two books. And then I also went ahead and through all the upsells and everything when you call and order this on the phone. Um, and it's the standard stuff on TV. Obviously, it's $20 to get you interested, and then you are upsold on all these other things. So we bought the book. We didn't get sucked into too many other upsells. We did join his monthly membership business. He's got a, which he doesn't talk about, by the way, on the commercial, on the infomercial, but he's got a nice monthly. I think it's $30 a month through the internet, where you'd have a typical back office and this and that. And I'm not really sure how you would get started with this business if you didn't do that, because it seems like that's where all his training videos are, which he's done quite nicely. One thing I found interesting, I do kind of like the guy, by the way, and I like what he's talking about, this idea of cost per sale, and in other words, getting paid cost per lead, or what I've always known as CPA offers, cost per acquisition, this kind of thing, where, one of the companies from these infomercials you see on TV is the biggest example. They would give you an affiliate website, and all you'd have to do is go advertise the site, which, don't forget, you need money to do that with, say on Google. Then when someone watches the infomercial, they run to the thing and they want to buy it for their kids, like a kid's toy or something, or the Bender ball, one of these exercise balls, whatever. It's a great idea. And he talks about how obviously the less that the person has to do on the site is going to give you the better conversions. So that's where he talks about the different types of things you can do. There's cost per sale, which is obviously for a product, but now that's going to be a lot harder to get. Although there's a good chance if they watch the infomercial, they might just be running to the computer to try and order it. But in a lot of cases, it seems to me at least, they probably wrote the website address down, the exact address. Although that's not to say that an ad off to the right-hand side in the search results might not grab their attention if it's written well. And then hopefully when they get to the page, they're going to buy the things. That's the only way you make a commission. The other idea is cost per lead, like say for a credit card company. Like Visa, they give you a replicated site, and you just have to get the person to enter their name and their email, usually at least their address. And if you do that, they'll pay you $1 or a few dollars per lead. Okay, and that's much easier. And then the real easiest one is where you're just getting somebody's name and email address. The least amount of information is going to be the best conversion. Okay, and this is what he teaches, and this makes sense. Okay. And of course, you make less money in most cases. Maybe you make 50 cents or $1, whatever the case may be, per opt-in lead for somebody that entered their name and email. Here's the problem that I come across. I've been online for a number of years now, okay, going on 5 years. The problem is that Google these days, especially, is very, very, very tight. You've heard of the Google slap, possibly, okay? It's not that easy to take a replicated site from, say, Visa or any of these other programs and just advertise it, even on AdWords. Okay, they're not going to show your ad that easily if the site doesn't belong to you. They do not like cookie cutter affiliate sites with a long number and question marks and everything else at the end of the address. They just don't like it, and they're not going to show it. I mean, I have a hard enough time just with the sites that I own. Okay, so that's number one. And I wouldn't say I'm an expert by any means, but I have been online for a number of years, and I still found a lot of problems with how am I actually going to advertise this. Okay, because I know for a fact from experience that you can't really advertise very successfully, especially for a beginner, one of these cookie cutter sites. And if you're lucky enough to get your ads to show for a while, chances are eventually they're going to be taken down, or you're going to pay very, very high costs for your ad, especially if it's pay-per-click. You're going to pay a much higher cost if the quality score is low. That's just how it works. So, my big problem with this, I love the idea. I love the thought of selling a real product that's on TV. It does work. People do run to their computers and Google Anthony Morrison. But I just don't see how this is going to work, especially if you're paying a lot for the ad to show. Um, I mean, I'm totally not done with it, but even for a more advanced person, I just don't see it being that easy unless you were to build a custom capture page, if you will, or a custom landing page for each product that you're going to promote. And it seems a little cumbersome to me. Now, there are guys, including apparently Anthony himself, who are making, hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I'm still investigating this thoroughly. I've got my brother-in-law on it. By the way, I own the original website, homebasedbizreviews.com. Okay, so we've done over 1,000 reviews of different business opportunities, different money-making programs, all the way back, from the 80s with Don Lapre. All those guys, we tested them, even, I know I'm a young guy, whatever, but always have been interested in this stuff. So this is kind of what we do. I do obviously have a recommendation, what we're using currently, which I'm sure you'll find a link somewhere around this video for. But, we're still looking at the Anthony Morrison program. I'm just, even for a more advanced person, I can't see how you're going to effectively get your ads to show, number one. Do it for a reasonable cost, number two, and of course your cost can't outweigh what you're getting paid per lead, or it's not going to, there's no business to be had here. So again, with the monthly thing, that was optional, his $30 membership thing, and I'm not quite sure how a person would get through this without having that, all those videos. We have not read all the way through the books yet, but I don't know. Maybe is it maybe a little outdated before Google really started slapping everybody? Yes, there is Yahoo, there is other sites, Bing, MSN, all that stuff that you can advertise on, but it's going to be the same thing. They all work on a quality score basis as well. So I would probably say if you wanted to get the book for the $20, you're probably not going to go wrong. Any amount of information you can read, you can usually pull some useful information out of it. But I really would caution you at trying to do this, especially if you don't really have experience online, because it is not easy. There's a real science, even with pay-per-click, even with paid advertising. If you don't follow the guidelines, which they do not clearly specify, you're going to have a real tough time getting your ads to show on the first page, because let's face it, you got to show up on the first page. Even the second page, okay? For a reasonable amount of money to where you're going to make a profit. If the company's paying you $3 a lead and it's costing you $1 a click, and you need 20 clicks before you get one person to enter their name and email into the page, guess what? You're spending a lot more money than you're making. So I would be very, very cautious with this. Nothing wrong with buying the book. If you're real curious and reading through it. I think he's a decent guy. I like the way he talks. I thought it was interesting how every single one of the training videos, he's wearing the same exact shirt. There's nothing wrong with that either, but it's a cool shirt with the eagle on it and everything. But it's just funny to me that, the whole thing was apparently shot like in one, photo shooting or whatever. So that's interesting. Bang it all out and get her done. But anyways, be cautious with this one, guys. And I wish you luck whatever you do. Take care. Thanks a lot.